Welcome to the Acquired Taste Podcast. We're back again.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do some more history today.
Yeah, we are. Actually, we're doing back-to-back history weeks, man. This is actually pretty cool.
Back to back.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the Dirty D in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tight Daddy, got Queen B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, we in here.
We are back again. Thank you for joining us. For those that are new, welcome. We are a history podcast for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I had to let that kind of trail off a little bit, like ...
Yeah, like little forewarning. If you don't like banter, if you want to get straight to the information, you might want to skip about 5 minutes.
It was about 15, but
I was going to say
10 minutes.
5?
I'm not going to lie to these. I'm not in the habit of lying to our listeners.
15 minutes.
15 is going to be about the minimum for that. But if you want to hear us bullshit for a minute, we appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if you are new, welcome. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your family.
You're like, hey, I know this really cool exclusive podcast that nobody knows yet because, it's new and it's cool and it's
Requires
exclusive.
taste.
It does require taste. And also, I can't say that nobody, I mean, we do get a couple hundred listeners a month. So we are doing.
We're getting there.
I mean, we're almost at 500 people listening to us per month. So
that's awesome.
Thank you all for
That's
that, by
so
the way.
awesome.
That's pretty tight. So first and foremost, thank you all for that. We appreciate it.
You guys are the
Hell
best.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's for listeners.
I fucking love the drunk guy.
I know. Screaming.
That one dude in the background. Fuck yeah. It's
He's
fantastic.
way too amped up.
It honestly, there's levels and that dude is over it. Fantastic.
Amazing.
But this week we're back again with the history one. We actually were on kind of a trend there for a minute, just doing a lot of Japanese history. And this one kind of fell through the crack of that. I don't know how.
Yeah, it was. We probably could have kept it going with that series, but it's nice to mix it up.
Yeah.
Go back and forth a little bit here. Still really cool
we should
story.
do once we get more of our stuff on YouTube, we should do like a playlist, like a
Oh yeah. We could do that.
Playlist.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we should do that. That's a fantastic idea.
I can't write it down. I don't have my phone though.
Oh yeah, your phone's gone.
Yeah.
Oh no, who's gonna write that down?
You know what? I can do it. I can do it from here. My laptop is basically my phone.
Who's gonna keep track of all of our unhinged ideas?
Oh yeah, you do have your laptop with you. That'll work.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they're connected anyways.
Yeah, I can just.
Yeah, there you go.
A laptop is basically a giant phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yep.
I was like, it's the same fucking thing right here. So
And that's your TED Talk.
we're good to go.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, this weekend was long too. We usually record way earlier, but
But no, it's Monday.
it is Monday,
Mm-hmm.
so this will be out hot and fresh tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, sure will.
So if you couldn't tell, we also do release our episodes every Tuesday. We usually don't miss many. We'll have like one or two maybe in a year that we'll just not have, but it's pretty rare
Yeah, it's few and far between.
for us to not be on
It's usually
schedule.
like something goes wrong, somebody gets sick or whatever.
Or just sometimes we just don't fucking feel like it.
Yeah, sometimes we just
Yeah,
aren't on it,
Right.
get tired. I went to Riot Fest this weekend in Chicago. Real amazing show. But I got to see Corey Feldman.
I saw
live.
that. I saw that on your snap.
Speaking of unhinged,
Yeah, and it was god awful.
He looked wild.
Yeah, he was
He looked
wearing
incredibly unhinged.
like a disco ball Michael Jackson jacket with no shirt on underneath. I'm pretty sure he forced his band members to take their shirts off at some point. Because I wasn't like fully paying attention. I really was trying to make a sign that said, Corey Feldman, please stop. Just trying to wave that around.
Please stop.
But I couldn't get all the materials
Just
together.
in general.
Yeah.
Stop.
you're going to try to tell an unhinged man to calm down?
Somebody's got to stop him. And I fucking knew it because he was trying to do like some, get like a crowd participation thing, like do a clap along.
Oh, no.
And like no one was fucking feeling it. And he's basically like, stalling on stage, like being a baby about it. And his set ran late,
Of
like
course.
20 minutes. And so for the rest of that day on that set, all those bands ran late.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Corey Feldman. He's got to be stopped.
Fucking Corey.
Someone needs to stop that man.
I'm not taking on that task.
At some point, he threw his jacket off, and he was all the dancing, all the videos you've ever seen. It's fucking real. It's fucking real, man.
I'm surprised he was there.
I'm not.
Okay.
He's been all over the place.
Yeah, he had a good time slot, He had a super good time slot. Shout out to fucking Through and Through. They're kind of like a local hardcore band. They were supposed to open up Sunday at Riot Fest. Sunday got rained. So basically the first like 5 bands just got thrown off. And they were going to continue as scheduled. But they were going to, instead of it starting at 12, now it's starting at 2. So anybody before 2 o'clock, whatever. Through and Through somehow was able to play at 8 p.m. that night on Sunday.
Dude, that's dope.
Yeah. So like The Cure was playing on one stage and Through and Through was on the other. So fucking shout out to those dudes. Those
that's
dudes
wild,
are,
dude.
They're from Chicago. They're a hardcore band that just started breaking through. And to see them like play like 8 p.m. at Riot Fest on a huge fucking stage like that.
Right, that's cool, man.
That was cool as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I back that, man, because I've seen them a couple times live. I've worked with them before. Back when I was still booking shows, I've booked them a couple times back in the day.
Yeah, cool dudes.
And they never stopped playing, which is cool, because most of the bands I worked with back then don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, I believe they're out of like a little village, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
Some area like that.
But yeah, good dudes, good music. And that's cool, man. Good for them. That's
solid.
Pretty dope for them.
And I also got to see ICP this weekend. Same stage as Corey Feldman.
Of course it fucking was.
And I
burned the stage to the ground.
Stage.
Right.
This is what fucked me up, right? Because I'm with like a group of people. I'm with Jacob, our friend Davey, Tara's there, a couple of their friends. And like ICP is kind of playing some like songs that I know, like bangers. And I'm just kind of like I know the words. And like me and Jacob are looking at each other. We're like, we're juggalos now. We're like, shit.
We knew this would happen. We knew this would happen.
It is official.
If you guys have not heard it yet, please do yourselves a favor and go and listen to our Juggalo episode.
Please do.
Shout out to our guest we had on that episode.
Mattingly was there. He was front row for them.
Oh, of course he fucking was.
They were spraying Faygo all over the place.
Of course they were.
It was insane.
So yeah, shout out to Mattingly, shout out to White Boy, and I guess you're a Juggalo now. You can leave my home.
You have to add Juggalo to like your Instagram bio or something.
Yeah, right.
No, if you have a Tinder bio.
Tinder bio.
I got to do the Hatchetman tattoo. Make it official.
Oh, God. I'm gonna beg you not to, real quick.
Dude, I wouldn't want to be seen in public with you.
Yeah, don't let me get drunk enough. I'll get like a fucking little outline.
Oh man,
I'd probably get it somewhere hidden,
And Chaz would do it too.
Yeah, he would.
get like your inner thigh or something.
He already has it tattooed.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know
had
that?
to be like a Waldo type thing.
How was I supposed to know that?
I don't know what you two do.
You don't want to know.
I'm sure I don't.
Yeah. You really don't.
Things happen,
Gets a little weird.
I mean, I've heard some stories, but
yeah, we were talking about this earlier before we got started recording. I'm like, I can't wait till I move and we have our dedicated podcast room. I have my own house, and I'm like, I'm not wearing pants until B comes over. Then I'll put on pants. But DJ, you're unsafe.
Yeah, I'm on my own.
That.
You are unsafe.
It's gonna be like one of those like bouncy inflatable clowns. Like I'm just like swerving out of the way to this fucking the ones that you punch and it just bounces back at you.
Because with every ounce of my beak, I hope that I have like a 2-floor house. So like I'm on the upstairs. I'm like always at the high ground.
Yeah, dude.
So you have to look.
I would know by the shadow.
Oh yeah.
I would like look down the hall. I'm like, oh shit, he's coming.
You could probably feel it. Like when you walk in, you're like the vibes.
Yeah, it gets like moist in the air.
Well, that's
feels swampy in here.
Dude, it's funny because Gio, I don't know how he knows, but he always calls me when I have my pants off. I don't know how he does this, but he does.
He gets like spidey senses.
He has to.
Yeah, his hair tingles.
Right? And he'll call me. He's like, dude,
Aaron's
you
got
don't
his pants off.
Like, you don't have pants on right now, do you? I'm like, nope. Like, how could you tell? It's like, your voice. I'm like,
your voice.
Probably right.
I mean, maybe there's some merit to that. Maybe it's just like slightly more relaxed. Yeah.
Happier.
Yeah.
With us bound by this restriction of clothing. It's terrible. Anywho, man, what's our question for the day, man? We've been here bullshitting for like
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
I know, and you're gonna tell people over here 10 minutes?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you said 5.
We're at 5.
We're at 9.
Damn.
Almost.
We haven't
10.
even gotten to the question yet.
No, we have not.
I felt confident about saying 7 minutes.
No.
Okay.
You'll be wrong.
So, because of the topic we're doing today, Brandy, I said Brandon. Wow. Brandy.
Wow.
Wow. I don't even know a Brandon.
It's my drag
which
name.
Is like the craziest part.
I do.
Yeah, well, I know of Brandon. I'm like acquaintances with them. But anyway, you had mentioned the name, and I was like, that's a really good question. What's your guys' favorite fucking Keanu Reeves movie?
Bill, let's start off with this one.
Okay. Well, there's Bill and Ted, the classic. That's classic.
Which one though?
First one. I mean,
Excellent Adventure.
Excellent. What's the second one? Focus Journey.
Yeah.
Focus Journey is really good,
Yeah,
but Excellent Adventure is just the classic.
Yeah, it's a staple.
But I did want to talk about like a very underrated Keanu movie, which is The Lake House.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a chick flick.
Oh.
It's a chick flick, but it's like the only reason that I ever watched it was because like one of my grandparents' favorite movies.
Okay.
Nice.
Right on.
They love like heartwarming love stories.
Is it a young Keanu? Or is it a older Keanu?
Yeah, it's a pretty old movie. Let me see.
Like what kind of facial Keanu can I compare him to? Like Bill and Ted or Speed or Constantine or like
no. Okay, so it's 2006.
Ooh, okay, so that's like the Matrix.
Yeah, it's like
Fucking,
Matrix Keanu.
Maybe a little bit after that. Maybe
it was a little after
maybe
that.
he was thinking about getting a beard around that time.
Yeah,
he
he didn't have a beard yet. No beard. But it's Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves.
Ooh, once again.
And it's kind of like there's like a little supernatural element to it.
All right.
So I don't want to ruin it for anybody who is passionate about chick flicks out there and wants to watch it, but it's a good movie.
Okay.
Our huge fan base that's passionate about chick flicks.
I'm slightly curious.
It's good. I think it's good.
Because I can't even picture like anything about the movie, and I'm just like super curious.
I can't picture him being romantic.
Yeah, wait, hang on.
And what happened to Sandra Bullock?
What do you mean?
I thought she's still doing stuff.
I haven't seen anything with her in a while. There's that one football movie.
Oh yeah, which did you hear about that?
Yeah, that ended up being like a farce,
like completely untrue.
Yeah.
I feel like he came out and said that in the beginning when the movie first came out. He's like, "This is really misleading," and no one listened to him.
Yeah, they were just. His mom was like, "Shut the
fuck
up!"
Trying to get paid.
Here, sign this NDA real quick. No, but this is it here.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like there's so like.
That was like Constantine Keanu.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So there's there's two people, and they are, without giving too much away, they're writing letters back and forth, and they're putting them into a mailbox at this lake house, but they are not in the same
I remember this movie.
timeline.
Yes.
Or
yeah, there's some weird shit with it.
yeah, they're in different like parallel universes or whatever. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
I've never seen it, but I'm very familiar with it now that she started talking about it.
Yeah,
I do, because it actually did look interesting.
Yeah. So obviously it's not something that's as good as The Matrix or whatever, but I just want to talk about it because I feel like not a lot of people know about it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I can appreciate that
until now. So yeah,
I can appreciate that one. Yeah, for sure. I don't know, for me, like movie wise, I kind of want to say Constantine because that was one of my favorite roles
Constantine
of his.
Was really good.
Love that movie.
But I'm gonna say The Matrix.
Yeah,
the first one.
First Matrix. Okay.
The fourth one was an abomination, but the first one was fucking dope.
I've only seen 1, 2, 3.
Don't ever.
I don't think I've seen the fourth one.
Don't do it. Do not do it, because you will go beat the Wachowski sisters' ass for that abomination that they brought out. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be gender fluid with it. Beat her ass for me, because I can't do it.
All right.
I want you to beat the money out of that. I just want my time back. Like, it was so bad. Like, by the end of the movie, I was just like, I wanted to stop watching it about halfway through. Because I'm like, what the fuck are these zombies? Anyways,
zombies.
That movie was fucking bad.
I believe you.
And also, Keanu apparently forgot Kung Fu. It's
yeah, you know.
The choreography of that movie was dog shit. I could have done better Kung Fu than that. Like, without stretching, mind you.
Oh, man.
Clearly not everybody is Kung Fu fighting.
Nobody was, actually. So, God, it's a waste of talent. But my honorable mention is going to be Cyberpunk 2077, the game that he's in.
Ooh,
he plays the main character. He's always there.
Oh, yeah, you were just playing that last week.
Yeah,
I
like that.
I'll be playing it again next week when the DLC comes out.
I was like, I came in here, he's playing a video game. I'm like, is that Keanu?
Yes, it is. Yeah, he plays this punk rocker who's a complete piece of shit, but becomes a better person over as the time goes on. Like, kind of.
Has he ever played a bad guy besides that, though?
That was probably the first time I can think of him being a bad guy. Like he's not the protagonist of that story.
I don't think he's ever played a role.
Because like the beginning of the game is him trying to kill you. Like it's pretty good. But anyways, I'm gonna go with those two though.
I like that.
I mean, definitely Constantine. They're doing another one, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're doing Constantine 2 with him.
I've heard things about it for a while.
Yeah,
so
the whole strike thing's going on.
Yeah, there's no fucking reason why that was an excellent fucking movie, man.
Yeah, it was. I'm tired of everything being a sequel, but at the same time, I'm okay with that being a sequel because it's been long enough.
Yeah,
like we've had our time.
And if they can make 4 John Wicks with Keanu
I thought there were
Reeves,
5.
5 John Wicks.
Whatever.
You know, I'm pretty sure they can make a good second.
They made 4 Matrix movies, dude.
They're just abusing the fuck out of Keanu at this point.
He's the new Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, honorable mention to his role in Toy Story 4, where he was Duke Kaboom.
Wow.
Nice. I was thinking about the SpongeBob movie, actually.
Yeah.
Because he was God.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
I didn't know any of those. Holy
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is God.
Wow.
I mean, makes sense.
If
anyone's going to be God.
Like if I got to heaven and I was like, yeah, all right.
Neat.
Cool.
If anyone's going to be God and it's not, wasn't it Morgan Freeman in what's that movie?
Click?
No.
With
Bruce Almighty?
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah. If it's not going to be Morgan Freeman, then I guess it's Keanu.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Either choice, really.
Yeah.
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 If it's like a team setup.
Yeah, like like it's your shift tonight.
Yeah. Or Keanu's like, he's gonna talk, just walk with me.
Right.
Just walk with me.
He's narrating.
Yeah.
I'm doing this part.
Just absorb my energy.
Yeah, just stand next to me and
listen.
Right.
Be in my beautiful presence.
Right.
That is God. Someone who's like Keanu Reeves, but like has Morgan Freeman's voice. That's what I choose to believe.
I'm gonna save that thought. Right there. Holy shit.
Make that into a
there you
shirt.
go. You know, one of my favorite things, I'm just thinking about the whole Keanu Reeves thing in the Cyberpunk game, like when he walked out to because nobody knew about it, that it's going to be in the game. And so he walks out to announce the game at like one of the gaming conferences, and somebody with the crowd was like, oh my God, Keanu, you're stunning. He's like, you're stunning. It's great.
I love it.
And there's also an achievement
much.
for it too, actually.
Okay.
Like you get if you collect all of his clothes in the game, you get an achievement called that too. It's actually pretty great.
Oh yeah.
I got it.
He sponsors my favorite whiskey too.
What whiskey is the sponsor of?
Suntory.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, he's always on their fucking the commercials.
I never knew that.
Yep. Pretty dope.
Right on.
Pretty dope.
Because that's my second favorite whiskey. So like that's I've never seen a commercial for it.
I guess I shouldn't say it's my favorite, but that's like my go-to. It's cheap. It's really good. I can drink it neat. You know.
Yeah, sure. I never knew he was a sponsor for that.
Yeah. It's probably gonna pop up on like your Facebook ad.
Well, yeah, because my phone's in my hand and they fucking know they're listening to me. Anyways, what's your favorite Keanu movie?
Okay, man. So I got stuck on this because I didn't want to say Constantine as well, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Point Break.
Okay.
For 2 main reasons: is fucking Bill and Ted. He was Bill, right? Oh no, he was Ted.
He was Ted.
Ted was transforming into a man at this point in his life, and then he was starting to do fucking action movies. In Point Break, he was still a little bit of Ted.
Mm-hmm.
He was still kind of stupid, and still a little dumb. But
he
he
still
was,
had that vibe.
you know, like the end of the movie, the scene when the dude's like, who the fuck is it? Is that it's not Patrick Swayze that plays that part, is it? Point Break?
Wait.
It is Swayze.
I think so.
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen the
Swayze's
movie.
got the surfer hair, and he's like running away on the beach. He's like, "You're not gonna shoot me, brother." And Keanu Reeves does like this over dramatic thing where
Oh,
he shoots
wow.
the gun in the air.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, it is Patrick Swayze.
Like that
God,
was
he's young in that.
That was the
Jesus.
moment Keanu Reeves was like, "I will no longer play a stoner ever." And it was all different after that.
I want to watch that.
Fair
now.
enough.
Yeah, solid movie. And then I think
I
I
haven't
had
seen it in so long.
a good honorable mention because I used to watch this movie a lot when I was a kid because it was always on cable. Speed.
A bus named Speed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I think about Speed, I think about Bob's Burgers when he like was like, well, they had a day off because the restaurant was closed. It's like, what are you gonna do today, Bob? It's like, well, I have on my lazy pants. It's like this, like his sweatpants with like holes in them and shit. So I have on my lazy pants. And when I finish building this model bus, and it's like the bus from Speed. Little Keanu.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a little Keanu, so he's like talking. So it's a great moment of cartoon right there.
You know what the worst Keanu Reeves movie is though? It's fucking 47 Ronin.
Well, that's yeah. We're going to use that as a segue. Anyways, so today we are going to talk about 47 Ronin because apparently there were white people in Japan. So there actually were a few, but they weren't fucking samurai. Anyways, and there also weren't mystical creatures into.
There's no demons in this one.
You know, it's
I mean, Scarlett Johansson is in Japanese. Keanu Reeves isn't Japanese.
Tom Cruise isn't
Japanese.
The Last Samurai. and then fucking I always forget about the Ghost in the Shell incident because I love Ghost in the Shell so much. I forget they had the movie for it. Her name is Major Kusanagi.
One of the worst ones ever.
Man, white.
I'm gonna have to look up a picture of this. One of the worst ones ever is John Wayne playing Genghis Khan in a movie.
John Wayne's Genghis Khan and what's his name? Original James Bond.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Sean Connery as a Japanese person in one of the original movies. Man, y'all need to stop. All right, because we thought blackface which is bad, but then we always just forget about Sean Connery pulling that shit off in a movie.
Just look at the fucking the title of this fucking movie. Look at John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, Hollywood was a weird place. Pull a picture of Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean Connery
in that movie.
Yeah.
Is also pretty bad. The wig was awful. It's just everything about that was bad. But anyway, so this is during that era of Hollywood when they were like, oh yeah, white guys can be Japanese, it's fine. But anyways, the actual part of the story that was true was there actually were 47 Ronin. There was a whole story behind it. We're diving into that today. So bear with me.
What movie was it again?
I can't remember which one it was. Of the Bond movies. This is one of his. If there's only 4 or 5 that he was in originally, I want to say maybe 5 or 6.
Let's see.
Dude, just look up Sean Connery Japanese.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I'm just trying to find it.
Anyways, all right. So I'm going to take you guys on a journey today. Bear with me. We're going to get into some history here, as our podcast is supposed to do in the first place. We just had 20 minutes of us just not doing anything important. So
you only live twice.
Kind of important, right? is this the one?
Oh, that's the one I'm talking about.
You only live twice, right?
Oh, was that? Well,
yeah,
okay.
That's it. Yeah,
his final movie. Yeah, his final one. Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's so bad. Again, the wig, awful.
He's like 6'4".
That's horrific.
It's pretty bad.
What the fuck, man?
It's pretty bad. So, anywho, this actually takes place during the Edo period of Japan. So, the Edo period was ruled by one clan, Tokugawa clan, took over back in 1603. They lasted until 1868. So that's one family ruling Japan for a very, very long time. And a lot happened during that time period. So this was the last era of the samurai. This is kind of when we're transitioning from swords to guns. I mean, this is the last time that we have Japan being not only isolated, but also having a class of samurai. So just a little bit about this time period, like I said before, Japan was at one point isolated, then they were forced to trade with everybody else, then they were isolated again, and then we were forced to trade with everybody else. The last period that we were familiar with was when they traded with us, and they still do, because they were pretty much forced to. Long story. But one of the things that happened because of them being forced to trade with us was the influence of foreign religion, which also caused the country to splinter in half and also almost caused the country to be just partially destroyed. So this was during the Shimbara Rebellion, which was in between 1637 and 1638. The Christians in Japan rebelled. So essentially the Japanese shogunate was like, hey, we are a Buddhist country. Stop the bullshit. Cut it out. Just like, because we're having problems with people rebelling against their lords. We want to snuff it out. Well, the Christians was like, fuck this, fuck you, in Jesus' name, and then
amen.
and they started to rebel. Well, the problem was that the Japanese was like, I bet you thought, and destroyed them. So 37,000 people were killed in this whole thing, which was the end of Christianity in Japan at that time. Like there was barely any. They were forced underground, and they were snuffed out underground too, and they were pretty much wiped out. So Japan was unified again as not only a people but as a religion. And they were split into 4 classes called Mibunsai. So there was 4 classes, like I said before. There was samurai class, peasants, craftsmen, and merchants. The samurai are about 5% of the population. Craftsmen were, the peasants were the other 80%. Then you had craftsmen and merchants were like kind of just a little small percentage in between all those. The main thing is though, samurai were the top of the food chain at this point in time. There was the first era after, like that's the reason why I brought the rebellion, because this was the first era they had of peace in Japan, without any revolutions, without any rebellions, without anything. There was no war to be had. You just had the ruling class being samurai. Like I said, they're 5% of the population. Kind of like today, like the ruling class is what, 1% of the global economy, something like that. So it's the same kind of thing like that.
Yourself, I would have been a peasant.
Well, and actually, the peasants even weren't the lowest. The craftsmen and merchants were actually lower than them.
Really?
Well, because the peasantry actually owned all the farms. So even though
I would have been merchant, I guess.
Yeah, so you have the peasants actually were the people that produced all of the meat, grain, everything that you had to eat in the country. That was coming from the peasantry. That was then bled down into the merchants to sell it all. But the rest of it, the majority of it, was taxed off to the samurai class. Because again, they're the trained ones. They're the ones with the swords and the training to fuck you up. So again, they're top. The shogun, of course, the ruling power, which was in Edo, which I think is modern day Tokyo, I believe.
Yeah.
The shogun has the top of this food chain, and then they have daimyo ruling over smaller parts of the land. I think there's like 200 something daimyo at this time, and they all had their they had a small castle. You know, they had their small military. They had their peasants. They had their own land to rule over, kind of like governor would be in the United States. Like you have your state to rule, but you still report up to the president. Essentially, same kind of concept. But like I said, there was still no war. So all these samurai were essentially paid to do other jobs. So it was like, I don't know, pick up a trade or do something. You're still trained soldiers, keep up with the craft, but like, we're going to pay you to keep you around. Just figure out something to do something.
Go get a hobby.
Right.
Yeah. And it was kind of like a catch-22 at this point being a samurai because like the samurai code of conduct, like they were very faithful to the Lord, whoever they were serving. So like whatever they said they had to do, basically the samurai had to do and do it accordingly, you know. And it wasn't like uncommon for like them to bring gifts, you know, to their shogun, you know, and it wasn't uncommon for the shogun to be unsatisfied with such gifts, you know. Like samurai would, if the shogun didn't like you, like the samurai would have a real bad fucking time. And there's nothing he could do about it because he can't drop down and get another job because that's dishonorable. You're a samurai. To do anything less than that is like bring dishonor on that, you know. He can't like just move away, you know, because like the money he makes, like these motherfuckers get paid in rice and shit like that, you know, like they're not like making like hard fucking dollars here. So like their families are there. Like if a samurai fucks up, like your whole family's fucked.
Yeah.
You know, like if you do anything disrespectful or dishonorable, like they go after your fucking family, your kids, your whole lineage, you know. So like they're just kind of stuck. And whatever job they may get could be fucking terrible, you know. There was stories I was reading, like there's a job where like they would literally like ladle the shit out of the dude's fucking butthole. Like that was a job.
Wow.
It has to be a small ladle.
Yeah, it's got to be. Like,
it can't be a big ladle.
It's fucking weird, you know.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand the purpose.
Yeah, you poop in a hole. Maybe they needed some extra, you know, scrape the walls for me, buddy, you know.
I just always think back to the seashell thing.
Yeah, 3 seashells.
Yep. This fucking guy.
that laugh that Schneider does there is...
Yeah, right.
That's a fucking... Ooh, we should get that as a soundbite.
I can do that. Not right now, though, but
yeah,
I'll hold on to that one.
Yeah, we'll save that.
So yeah, like you said, if they were to lose their jobs, they're boned. And actually going into the whole thing that what you mentioned, like if they make a mistake, it is bad enough if their daimyo or even if the shogun finds out about it and they're that mad, they will go after your next of kin, which the story actually goes into. That's actually I'm glad you mentioned that because that is actually a key point in what happens to get the 47 Ronin to act essentially. So going into that, actually, there was So, like I said before, there was a bunch of daimyo in the land, all reporting mainly to the shogun. There was actually a big festival about to happen at the capital, and so Shogun Tokugawa, I forgot which one he was. Should probably written that down. My bad. Oopsie. I mean, the family name Tokugawa, whatever. You got that part. So, anyways, he was having a thing at the castle, and all the daimyo from the land had to show up and be part of this festival. So that brings in the two gentlemen that start off this whole thing.
It was Kira Yoshinaka
and Asano. I don't have their last names actually.
Asano Naganori.
There we go.
See, that confused the hell out of me when I was researching this, the little bit that I did, because I don't know, Kira just it sounds like such a feminine name to me. So for whatever reason, I was just like imagining like a woman this whole time, and then I was like, nope. That's a dude. Yep.
Damn it.
I just couldn't get it right in my mind.
So this involves these two people, Kira and Asano. So Kira was assigned to Asano to be a teacher to teach Asano the proper court etiquette, the proper way to behave during this festival was essentially their job. So Asano was in hierarchy higher than Kira was in this whole thing. So the thing is, Kira had expected to receive like a money for his service. Like, hey, I've done you this. I've done work for you. Pay me for it. Was this whole thing. Asano was like, dude, that's your freaking job. Fuck off. You didn't get nothing from me. By the way, this story gets super fucking petty real quick, so we're just gonna get it. It's like it starts off petty and then it is pettier. So Kira, being upset by this, started spreading all these rumors about Asano
we got the court. Petty.
Like petty as fuck. Like he's talking about like, man, this dude Asano over here, small wee wee. His katana, small. Just talking all this shit.
Real short, real fat katana.
His penis very small.
Grain of rice.
Oh no!
But
like cockroach.
So obviously, so Kira being and this is all court intrigue type stuff. So I mean, if you've ever seen like Game of Thrones or anything like that, where like you have a court of people, he's talking shit to a court of people about this dude when he's not around. So Asano hears about it eventually. So he's like, dude, this man's dragging my name through the mud. I got to do something about it. It's like the whole like Dave Chappelle thing where Charlie Murphy got slapped by Rick James. It's like, man, when you slap a man, somebody got to go.
Yeah.
In France, they had a duel.
What do you got to go?
Like somebody got to go. So Asano drew a sword. Because again, these are all samurai. So Asano drew a sword, struck Kira in the head and in the back. He didn't kill him. He was injured, but it didn't kill him. So typically speaking, like I mentioned this during the Musashi episode, actually, how samurai at the time, this was the time of peace. Samurai, in order to fight each other, you have to have everything sanctioned. Yeah. And to fight somebody out of the blue like this was very illegal. And if two samurai were to fight, they both get punished equally. Well, in this case, and also you're in you're in your shogun's house. It's like being in the king's house fighting somebody with your sword. Like, what? You don't do that.
Yeah, you can't do
so
they do that in Game of Thrones all the time.
Asano tried to kill the dude, but Kira didn't draw his sword. So it was only viewed as an assault, not a fight.
Yeah. He's like, did you guys see that? I didn't touch him.
Pretty
I didn't
much
do anything.
Yep.
Exactly. Pretty much that's exactly how it went down. So normally, like I said, it would have been the two samurai being punished equally at the same time. That didn't happen because blah blah blah. But the shogun was fucking pissed. Like he's like, dude, I'm having a party at my house. You over here fucking it up with this fight. How dare you? In Japanese. You
over here hitting people in the head with your tiny katana. Yeah, I heard.
Right. In Japanese. So yeah, he was pissed, so the shogun, normally what would have happened is there would have been a formal investigation as to why the fight started, who did what, and blah 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 blah. Shogun wasn't having it. He was pissed. He's like, you ruined my party, the tiny katana. How dare you? Dishonor upon you and your family. And your cow.
You make big noise with tiny penis in my house.
Right.
We're all here having a good time.
Right. And you're over here fucking it up.
You had to go and ruin it. You had to bring the vibes down. I can't have that.
He messed up the vibes.
I can't have that in my party.
So Asano was sentenced to commit seppuku. Which actually was pretty good, considering that it was at least an honorable death. He could have just killed him outright any way he wanted to. He at least gave him that much.
Here's kind of my problem though with them like being able to order like them to commit like tell the guy to kill himself.
It's not technically suicide, right?
I mean, I guess in a court of law,
the ritual of a seppuku is literally suicide, but like it's honorable. It's not like,
But like you're literally killing yourself. But if someone is like telling you have to kill yourself,
but like,
is that still suicide?
What are the grounds to like for them to do that? Like, can they just tell you to kill yourself over like you like cook the rice wrong or some shit like that?
Probably.
I feel like they probably could.
And it's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
No.
My bad.
Not good enough.
This rice is chewy.
And seppuku isn't like by any means like an easy death.
Yeah, isn't it like in their stomach?
It's your disembalmment. You're disembalming yourself.
Boweling yourself.
Bowling, yeah.
There you go. Your bowels are, the thing, and actually just a little side note about that. For the longest time, seppuku was one person act. I think by then it became a 2-person though.
Yeah, because they would fucking be disemboweling themselves or emboweling themselves, and like they couldn't stop until they were dead. So they couldn't just like do it and like take a break. And then like they had to keep the process going.
And bleed.
Yeah, well, they're on their knees already doing this thing, and it's a whole process. But I mean, like the problem was they weren't dying fast enough, and people were just
taking a while.
Yeah,
they weren't dying fast enough.
Well, I mean, because they're just sitting there suffering at this point. Like you're trying to do a ritual suicide, and like you're suffering instead. So that's when the second person got involved and cut the head off. So they were still like the bowling part would still happen. It's just the second person had to cut the person's head off.
They would have like the guy would still do the stabbing, but then the person behind him, and I don't know if it was anybody in particular, like if it had to be somebody close to him,
I don't know,
another samurai or something, but somebody would be behind, fucking ready to hit a home run.
Well, I'm assuming it had to be a samurai though, because I doubt they would let anybody lower class do that. That wouldn't make sense.
Definitely not suicide then. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, it's more of the ritual part.
Into semantics here.
They made it worse, in my opinion. I don't know, like, well, maybe not. I guess that's a quick death, but still, it's like.
So there was like somebody in the court watching this happen, and he's like, "Boo! It's been 20 minutes."
Cause that off.
The guy like 30 minutes into it, like this guy won't die, man. Maybe we should have kept him around.
Hidatori, come here. Do it. Do the thing.
Yeah.
Did we have dinner yet, or
right? Like, do we eat him while he's doing this? Like, do we serve him?
You guys want to do rice tonight or
rice and fish? Rice and fish.
Yeah.
Should we order? Because I don't know.
That reminded me of another thing too. I don't know why, but just something that I just randomly remembered about Japan. The people that fish in Japan are actually part of the king's court. Actually, ooh. So the fishermen in Japan are still employed by the shogunate to this day.
Nice.
Actually, they are still part of that lineage, which is actually pretty interesting. I don't know why, but I still know that.
Yeah. Let's go.
Anywho, so Asano seppuku honorable Subaru, he's done. The problem is that Asano had a younger brother, and he still had his the lands were still there, and his samurai was still there too. So he had over 100 samurai, and he had a brother who could essentially take power because he is still with the family. The problem is that, like we mentioned before, if one samurai messes up, it goes back to his family. So if you punish him, the rest of the family gets a punishment as well. But it took them a while to figure this out. So some of the samurai there were like, dude, this is messed up. Our lord was dishonored and then had to kill himself. The other dudes just get away scot-free. We should kill him, essentially. Kira was like, I don't want to die. So he put himself underneath what is essentially his own house arrest, doubled the amount of his guard, and didn't leave his house for a while. Because he's like,
lay low.
Yeah, because these dudes over here about to kill the fuck out of me. Like he didn't want to get killed like that. So
he's like, damn, all this for just saying he had a tiny katana?
Yeah, right. It's all, shame upon, dishonor upon you and your cow. And his cow's penis, apparently. So yeah, like I said, he killed, doubled his guard, but the shogun had to decide what to do with his land. There was essentially what you could say like the leader of the samurai that were still loyal to Asano. His name was Oshi. So he was essentially the de facto leader of them. He wanted the brother to take over control. So he was like, all right, until the Shogun makes a decision, we're not doing anything. We're not going over to kill him. We're not fighting him. We're not doing any of this. We're going to wait it out and see what happens. If the brother takes over the land, we'll be loyal to the brother and we'll go back to what we're already doing and it'll be cool. So they were just chilling for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And like I said, he wanted the brother to take over, but unfortunately, the Shogun decided that the brother was no longer a samurai and demoted him.
Oh, that's rude.
So yeah, very much so. Oishi. He was like, all right, y'all, fuck the Shogun, fuck the queen, fuck your dusty ass shoes. So like he was like, all right, man, screw this. Here's the plan. So he gathered all the samurai together. He's like, all right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're making a blood pact right now. We fighting this dude. All right, cool. So they literally made a blood sealed pact that they're going to end up going against Kira, and they all left. It was like, you know what? I wonder who's actually going to be down for this, though, because they weren't. Everybody wasn't immediately like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
So we were like, I don't want to do that.
He was like, let's fuck this guy up. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, let's
He's
do
like,
it. On God though? On God though? And they're like,
Right. Like on my dead homie? So what he did was actually pretty clever. He sent out a communication to everybody that signed this pact. He's like, a message that said, you know what? On second thought, I don't really feel like it. And so the people that said, you know what? We don't feel like it either. He let them go. It's like, you know what? You don't have to worry about that. Just go your own way. But the other people that were like, wait a minute. Like, dude, on Osana, we ain't going out like that. What you talking about? We're gonna mess this dude up.
we made a pinky promise.
Right. On our dead homie little wee wee. We're gonna fight this dude. Write that down.
Yeah.
So it was originally 120 men that were gathered for this. Those that were still outraged and ready to fight, he took them with to do this. So it was only 47 Ronin. Hey, because there's 47
there
of them.
Go,
and they're not samurai anymore.
Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Oh, you should do the dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Indeed. Glad I still had that saved. Anywho. So this is the part where the story kind of takes a turn where they start acting like, vagrants, essentially. So they all went into the world. Like I said, it took a year and a half for them to even get to this point. So some of them had already kind of started to, be less than civil, if you will. And there was actually a class for this, by the way. So it's called the Hinin, or what translates to essentially non-humans. So this is a subclass underneath the 4 classes that I mentioned earlier. These are like the beggars, the entertainers, the prostitutes, people that were not noble, essentially, or part of a noble class, became not a human, essentially. And they had blocked off parts of the city where they were at and all these other things. Anywho.
Entertainers. Well,
yeah.
So the troubadours and stuff.
Yeah. Anywho. So what happened was they started disguising themselves as some of them became this class. Some of them became sword instructors. They all essentially they left the land that they were in, they moved to Edo, and then became all of these different jobs. Their goal was just to figure out to gather information. It had been almost 2 years by this point. They were waiting until Kira's guard was down, because again, he doubled the amount of guard he had. He also was never leaving his house, so they had to figure out a way to get in there, or find a point where he'd be vulnerable. So the best way to do that would be to gather information in the town itself. I mean, he lives there, he has his own place, whatever. So it'd be easier to find that. So some people became worked at tea houses. Some people were sword instructors. Some people were merchants. Some people were vagabonds. Some people were all about the prostitutes and drinking all the time,
drinking and fucking.
Why not?
Sleeping on the street and shit. And
hell yeah. Yeah, because also the dude, Kira, was rumored to have a thing for prostitutes as well. So
wasn't there a story of one of the samurais ran into somebody else that knew him and he was like so disgusted by the way he was acting.
I think I remember reading something.
You know, he had like spit on him or some shit like that. You know.
Yep.
The guy was like, I don't give a fuck.
This is bigger than you.
This is for honor.
My dead homie, little wee wee. Like,
he's just drunk as shit. Like, honor.
On Asano. Anyways. So what they ended up finding out was that Kira was having a tea party at his house.
Tea party.
Indeed. They love their tea in Japan, and I understand why. That's just delicious. So they figured they would infiltrate the house then and kill him. So at the time, Kira still had a sizable force of samurai at his house. Like he had over 100 samurai versus these 47 Ronin, and the 47 Ronin not only defeated them all, they also didn't lose a man while doing this.
Damn.
Like they even though they were doing all these other things in their life in the meantime, they were still very, very.
Even though they were all still drunk.
I mean, I've seen Jackie Chan's Drunken Master. It's a great movie, great piece of cinema right there.
You don't want to fuck around.
Nah, I kind of want to find out. Like, so, they defeated his samurai. They beheaded Kira, and then went to Asano's grave where his family stone was. Watched Kira's head off in a river before they presented it to their master's grave. Because that's when you know you've just fucking petty. You waited years for revenge. Years for revenge. And that's the type of petty I'm talking about. That's the type of shit I like. When you hold revenge in that long, where it's that deep in your soul. Because fuck them.
We love 47 petty betties.
Right. 47 petty Roman. Just chilling the fuck out.
Hell yeah.
Write that down. 47 petty Ronin.
Yep.
47.
We're just trying to come up with shirt ideas at this point, all right?
I know, right?
So yeah, they did that, and so obviously they could have done anything after this. They could have dispersed and disappeared into the land. It would have been easy, honestly, for them just to go their separate ways and just disappear, like they did before,
Right.
essentially.
That was a good time.
But they didn't, because again, honor. So the Shogun found them. It's like, dog, the fuck, and they're like,
what's going on here, guys?
On our dead homie Asano, we can't let that shit ride though.
Like, are you guys good? What the fuck is going on?
There's all these dead samurai everywhere. What
It's
the hell?
The fuck, dude, not cool. So, thankfully, the Shogun was so. How do I say, like, not humbled, but so, I guess, honored by their sacrifice
Like
for
impressed.
impressed. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, he was so impressed by their loyalties to their dead lord. He was like, well, I mean, seppuku. so then they up at Honorable Subaru and ended up getting buried actually right by their master.
Cool.
And they also built a gate for it too. There's a gate that they built in honor of them. But I mean, after that, though, the legend spread around across the land, because like we just talked about earlier, though, like we were talking about a society that was so enamored by the theory of the thought of loyalty, the thought of honor, the thought of being the perfect samurai, and then you see a physical example of somebody doing it. It spread across the land like wildfire. So like the story was told everywhere, and it became a legend. And I mean, we're talking about like kabuki theaters performing these to this day, still doing that. The story being told, Keanu Reeves, to this day.
Keanu Reeves.
Masterless samurai, man. Just
right, like who were still so dedicated, so loyal to their former master, that they died for it.
So fucking loyal that they waited as fucking vagabonds and different trades or whatever to get their petty revenge. To only in the end be ordered to kill themselves anyway.
Honorably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that at the end, like they were doing like the fucking trial, and he's like, "I fucking respect what you guys do a lot. I love it.
Right.
Great work."
But
seppuku.
So,
like
kill yourselves, I guess.
Subaru.
Mitsubishi.
Right. Like Subaru Outback.
Toyota.
going. So yeah, that's the story of 47 Ronin, though. It's actually I love that it actually takes place around the same time. Like because we already covered some of this time period when we talked about Musashi Miyamoto. So like this is still that same era of like the dying age of the samurai.
Check out Keanu Reeves. It's fucking.
Oh, look at him.
In case you forgot.
It looks like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. Looks just like him, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. Such a beautiful man. Look at him.
What a guy.
What a guy. What a fella.
Yep. So it's just I enjoy that story. I mean, it's been legend for so long. So long. And I feel like we need to cover it.
Yeah. And
because we like our Japanese history. And also the episodes we've had the most views on are pretty much our Japanese ones.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
it's real strange. Maybe people love it as much as we do. It's fine.
Yeah, we learned something new about you guys.
Yeah, it's cool. We're gonna there's a lot. I mean, it's the land of the rising sun.
Our audience is a bunch of weebs.
I'm okay with that. Let's watch anime before y'all got here, actually. New episode of Just Guys that came out. Really
as long as you guys are listening, we don't care. We don't care what you do.
Indeed.
Don't diddle kids.
Well, yeah, no, don't do that.
We do care what you do, sort of, to an extent.
I don't know why we had to go to that extreme, but
whatever.
Our audience would never. How dare you?
Yeah, you're right. I do have higher expectations for our listeners.
Yeah.
Save that for aftertaste.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, man.
We actually haven't even talked about aftertaste.
Oh yeah, my bad. We just kind of dove into the episode.
We did.
All right, so check it out. We have Patreon. We're not showing feet pics, but
not yet. Anyway,
we're not that desperate.
Not until things get a little bit more desperate.
Nobody wants to see my feet, anyways.
I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, there probably is a market for it, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Someone would pay to see your feet.
Part of them are webbed, so yeah, there's a market for it.
Yeah, there
Someone
probably
would
is, actually.
absolutely pay to see your feet then. 100%.
Not doing it. Anyways, so our first episode is, you posted it, right? I think it's
Yes.
okay.
Yep. It's up.
So the new episode is up. It is free, I believe.
First
so
episode's
go
free.
And check that out.
First one's free, kids.
So that's right. That's how we get them. That's how you get hooked.
That's how we get you hooked.
That's how you get hooked on
You
it.
want a little taste? You want a little aftertaste?
Right, a little of this aftertaste. It'll be after that though. It's $1 a month. So we're not charging much. We're not asking for much. We just want to,
Yeah, it's like the lowest we could possibly charge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah, just a little something for some extra unfiltered content.
I mean, we don't filter anyways on here. I mean, you can tell by how much we curse.
we don't filter, but this is really for the homies who like the banter in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
because it's just straight up banter.
Yeah, if that's your style, and if you like just listening to us bullshit, then that's basically what aftertaste is.
Yeah,
And we hope you all enjoy that.
we can talk about stuff that we don't want to talk about on here.
Correct.
Yeah, this is a family channel. Not really.
The topic for the free episode of Aftertaste, episode 1, is would you bone an alien?
Yeah, that we got kind of deep into that too.
We sure did.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables in that.
There were. So go give it a listen.
Yeah.
On our Patreon. Go subscribe there.
Yeah. If you like it, subscribe.
Yeah. And give us some topics for that too. Give us what you want to hear us talk about. Ask us questions. Send us some questions that you want to hear us gab about on there.
Yeah, we'll dive into it real deep.
Indeed. Real deep.
We'll get weird.
Oh, we will get weird on purpose.
We'll get so weird.
On purpose.
And we'll do it for you.
Because we love you. You can tell I don't say I love you people often because of how awkwardly it comes out. Yeah.
That sounded painful.
It snuck out of there at the end.
Man, I need to be hugged more, I guess. Anyways, all right, so don't hug me. Anyways,
I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I need to take a shower too. I wouldn't do it. Anywho, I smell like I work from home. Anywho,
You do.
Indeed.
You do work from home.
That is true. But give us a like, give us a subscribe on the Patreon. Give us some suggestions on what you want to hear there. Give us a like and follow on your favorite social media platforms. Follow us on your favorite listening platforms. We're actually almost at 200 followers on Spotify, by the way, and that's just on Spotify.
Yeah, guys, we're so close. Like, share us with your friends, share us with your family, whoever you can, and help us get to that milestone, because that would be cool.
That would be super fucking cool. So yeah, we appreciate. But either way, we appreciate you guys listening to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. So y'all be cool, and we'll be back next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.